Have you ever been in a relationship that felt like it was just pulling you through the fire? Like every wound, every trigger, every insecurity was just being exposed? What if I told you that love isn't just about romance? Sometimes love are spiritual tests, a divine initiation meant to evolve you, challenge you, and awaken the deepest parts of your soul. In this video, we'll be explaining the truths about relationships as initiations, why they happen, what they're meant to teach you, and how to recognize when you're being tested. Most people think that love is supposed to be easy. When you meet the right person, that everything would just fall into place. But what if I told you that the most powerful relationships aren't meant to be easy, but transformational? These initiations strip away illusions. They force you to confront what's real versus what's a fantasy. Love can also act as a mirror, reflecting back to you the parts of yourself that needs to be healed. Relationships are a catalyst for bringing unhealed wounds, fears, and karmic patterns to the surface. A lot of these connections are not meant to last forever. Some of these connections come into your life to prepare you for a higher level of love and self-mastery. So if you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep attracting the same type of person? This is why. The test will keep repeating itself until you complete the cycle. So how do you know if your current relationship is a spiritual initiation? Number one, your connection brings out old, deep-rooted wounds. Do you feel unseen, unworthy, and abandoned in your relationship? Are you constantly triggered by wounds that you felt like you healed from? If so, this is the universe's way of showing you that your soul still needs work in certain areas. Number two, you notice repeating cycles. Do you find yourself dating the same type of person with different faces? You find yourself in the same painful cycles, betrayal, rejection, emotional unavailability? This means that the lesson hasn't been mastered yet. Number three, the relationship feels intense but draining. Do you feel like you're learning more about yourself, but at the cost of your own peace? Do you feel like you're still growing, but you're still in pain? A spiritual test will push you to evolve, but a healthy love will help you rise. Number four, you feel a strong soul contract. Does this connection feel like one that is destined, karmic, or even preordained? Do you feel like you've known this person before, even if they hurt you? A lot of people come into your life to unlock deeper levels of your soul, but just because they do come into your life, that doesn't mean they're meant to stay forever. Not all spiritual tests are the same. There are different types of relationships that come into your life that act as initiations. So let's just break these down. The first test is the karmic test. This test is the most painful. This is a relationship where the lessons keep repeating itself until you finally learn a lesson. Karmic partners come in to mirror your wounds so that you can finally heal them. These relationships are usually very intense, very toxic, and filled with extreme highs and lows. The test, will you break the cycle and choose yourself? So how do you pass the test? Identify the pattern, stop ignoring the red flags, and walk away once the lesson is learned. The second test is the soulmate test. A soulmate connection isn't only for romance. They can also be here for growth as well. A soulmate is a friend, a lover, or a mentor that pushes you toward your higher self. These relationships are not necessarily meant to last forever, but they shape you for what's coming next in your life. The test, will you embrace the transformation that they're bringing you, or will you resist it? How do you pass the test? Be open to growth. Don't cling onto the connection if it's meant to evolve, and honor the love even if it changes form. The third test is the divine union test. This is the highest level of testing. This is a relationship that requires both partners to be fully aligned with their purpose. This is a connection that is rooted in mission and not just love. If both partners aren't spiritually ready, this connection won't last. The test, will you do the inner work required to sustain this level of love? How do you pass this test? Number one, release fear-based control and fear. Two, focus on your spiritual growth. And three, stay aligned with your divine path. So if you recognize that you're in a relationship test, what do? How do you pass the initiation? Number one, recognize the pattern. What wounds keep coming up? What red flags do I keep ignoring? Number two, stop resisting the lesson. The more you fight the test, the harder the lesson becomes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Number three, choose growth over attachment. If a connection is forcing you to dim your light, lose yourself, or is putting you in a position to abandon your peace, that isn't love, that's a test. True love will expand you. It doesn't deplete you. Number four, release what no longer serves you. Holding on to a spiritual test longer than necessary only prolongs your suffering. Once you've learned the lesson, let that person go with love. Not every love partner that comes into our life is meant to last forever. Some of these romantic relationships are spiritual initiations. They're tests They're stepping stones to us becoming a higher version of ourselves. So if you've been struggling with painful romantic cycles in your life, maybe it's time to ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? And more importantly, am I ready to pass this test? Let me know down in the comments, have you ever been in a relationship that felt like a spiritual initiation? What were some of your takeaways that you've learned from that cycle in your life? Also, if you found value in this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with more content like this, and share this video with someone who might need to hear this information. Remember, love is more than just about romance. It's also the path to us becoming a higher version of ourselves. Well, that's all the time that I have for today. As always, own your energy, walk your path, and until next time, love and light, my friends.